Archery is one of the oldest arts still practiced today, dating back to around 200,000 BC. This is a long time for people to perfect and enjoy this type of competition and leisure. Most of you have participated or played in some sort of sport in your youth. One people do not think of is archery, a competitive but individual sport to compete in. Having done archery for the past 10 years, I have learned and memorized all the steps that go into shooting a bow. Archery may have quite a few steps to go through, but if you go through them correctly, you're setting yourself up for success. I will begin by telling you the 11 steps to successfully shoot a bow. Then I will end with the signals and whistle commands while on the line. Let's begin by looking at the National Archery in the Schools program, 11 Steps to Archery Success. The first two being stance and knock. Stance is when you put your feet and legs into position at which you're standing at. Your feet will be at shoulder length apart with your front foot pointing slightly at the target. With your head stays up and your knees will be firm with slight pressure but not locked. Next, you will knock your arrow. Taking an arrow out of the quiver, you will click the arrow's knock into the string while keeping the arrow pointed at the target at all times. The arrow will be placed on the arrow rest and wait to be shot. The next two steps consist of the placement of your hands, your draw hand and your bow hand. With the draw hand placement, you will put your 3 middle fingers against the string of your bow and make sure that you are only using the pads of your fingertips as they touch the string. For your bow hand, you will use the meaty center of your grip to grasp the handle of your bow. Grasping should also only be with your thumb, as the rest of your bow should be able to balance and rest at the inside of your grip. Pre-draw and draw are the next steps when you shoot a bow. Pre-draw is where you begin the process to shoot your arrow and put everything into place. Both your hands are ready and your hand, arm, and elbow will be parallel to the ground. Draw is where you will finally pull the string back toward your face. Your shoulder and hips will move as you do this motion. After you draw, you will anchor the arrow into place using your index finger of your draw hand at the corner of your mouth so that the arrow can be set into place. This will lead into aim, where you will look down the tip of the arrow onto the target to point at what you are trying to shoot. The shot setup is where you are headed next, where you will have at least one chance to think and aim at your target, where you will then let go of the bow and slightly relax your draw hand so that it lets go of the string and your arrow will land in the target. The last and final step is your follow through. As soon as you let go of the bow, you will pause and watch as it lands into the target. You will see what you did in that moment. You will then reflect on the arrow and get ready to shoot the next one. Now that we have gone over the rules of how to shoot a bow, let's move into the signals and whistle commands of the tournament. Whistle commands during an archery tournament are just one of the many ways to keep the sport safe and running smoothly. There are 3 basic whistle commands used in every archery tournament. 2 whistle blows means to get your bow from the rack and stand at the shooting line with your bow and your leading foot toe. 1 whistle blow means that the range is clear and you are now allowed to shoot your bow. 3 whistles means that everyone is done shooting and has put their bow back on the respected rack, and everyone may now move to the target line to retrieve their arrows. The only other whistle command used in archery is when there are 5 or more whistles blown during the tournament. This means there is some sort of emergency going on and you must take your arrow off your bow and put it back on your toe to wait for further instruction. These easy signals are to keep everyone safe and informed. Now that you know the rules of the game, you can now try it out for yourself. The rules of archery may be lengthy, but they will give you great success. First, we began with the 11 steps of how to successfully shoot a bow. Then we ended with the signals and whistle commands while on the line and how to keep everyone safe and alert. Archery is one of the oldest activities humans have participated in. Will you keep the tradition going?